Okay, so I'm starting this again because Filmora doesn't like my microphone apparently. So this is the Nintendo Direct. I didn't realize that my microphone was gonna die until I stopped the recording, so that way I could like trim it down for the part where I go silent. And that's when I realized that there was no audio, and I tried a few more tests, and it just doesn't like my microphone. So whatever. Up front, we have Overwatch for the Switch. Everyone was kind of expecting this with the official Overwatch thing that was licensed by Nintendo. I think it's case. I keep forgetting the word for case. I don't know why. English is my first language, I swear. But here we have for the Switch, we have motion controls, which a couple of my friends were not too pleased at learning was a thing that was gonna happen. It's honestly, it's one of those things that like I don't mind the motion controls. It just gives people, that nice bit of extra precision that you don't find on a joystick that you would pretty much only find with a mouse. So that's kind of why I like motion controls. Not on everything. Like if I have to hold around the Wii U gamepad or the 3DS, I don't like that. But if I could like point a Joy-Con, then that'd be great. So here we've got our host for this Nintendo Direct, talking about the different things that he's gonna show us. And up front we have Luigi's Mansion. It shows off more floors this time around. Luigi's Mansion 3 is really looking to be probably the most ambitious of the different games, just in terms of the variety to this game. It's kind of interesting, all the designs that they came up with. So they've got the this ancient Egypt, and then this dance hall, and what to me looks like the the restaurant for Pirates of the Caribbean at Disneyland. Maybe that's just me. They talked about a new mode, Scream Park, which is kind of cool. Use up to 4 pairs of Joy-Cons, which is probably I want to say $120, but you get the first pair for your Switch. So it'd probably not cost you any if like all 8 friends had Joy-Cons. But that's kind of neat. Just this whole couch co-op thing. I really like the idea of couch co-op because a lot of my childhood was spent playing Star Wars Battlefront 2 and Halo Reach with my friend Dan. But yeah, so this is Super Kirby's Clash or whatever. It's basically Kirby Deluxe Fighters on the 3DS. Free to start, which is kind of nice for those who don't have a lot of money. You and your friends, if you're all broke but have Switches, you can play this game. Or I think, shows right here, you can do couch co-op, which is really nice. Or local multiplayer online couch co-op. Nintendo is really shooting for a nice variety of ways that you can play a lot of their games. It seems like the overall story is going to deal with Nightmare. I think Nightmare was introduced in Amazing Mirror, I think. I'm not sure. Long-awaited RPG Reborn in Trials of Mana. This, honestly, I kind of expected, just because we were getting a lot of the Mana games on Nintendo Switch. So it's kind of nice that, they remade a couple of more in like full 3D, and you could like really see the expressiveness of a lot of these characters. Here we have a talking point that came up during the call, is that it seems that every character with breasts, and I don't know why I said it like that, with boobs in this game, they all seem to move very unnaturally. It just It was one of those things where it's like they moved in that one cutscene where we're like, wait a minute, and then we saw all of them move, and we're like, guys, maybe this is a thing in Japan, but it just seems a little excessive. And I've seen some games on the 3DS that also go a little too far with their physics engine. So Trials of Mana is coming out on the 24th of next year, which honestly is not that far away. 2020 is just around the corner. Here we have Obra Dinn. This game was on, I think, PC. I remember seeing the first 20 by Steven Plays. Honestly, it looks really cool. I love the aesthetic of like pen and paper. To me, it invokes the kind of imagery of like pen and paper role-playing games where like in your mind the world probably looks like, you know, the ink on paper of you, from you drawing the maps with your DM and your character sheets and doodling your character portraits. That's what this invokes. I really like the mystery behind it. I personally have never played this game. I tend to notice that the games I'm interested in a lot aren't always the games that I buy. But I like all the games that I buy. There are some exceptions, but there are some of these like these other games where they catch my attention, but I never get them, and Obra Dinn is one of them. Here we have Game Freak's passion project, Little Town Hero. Used to be called just Town. It seems like they were kind of on the fence, and they were like, it's Town, but like let's bring the hero to attention. So they called it Little Town Hero. It's a pretty nice, nice little like descriptive title for the game. Here it's talking about ideas, so you don't necessarily have attacks. You have ideas on what you can do. And so you think about it and you're like, oh, I can, probably try using this attack. And here they show off if you're being followed by a monster, you can lure him to another area, and that person can help you fight whatever monster you're trying to fight, which is really a neat concept, and I really like it. Also, you can really see the love and passion in this game that Game Freak put in. Also, that little thing at the end, Toby Fox, yes, of Undertale fame. Toby Fox did work on this game. It's kind of neat. He made Undertale. Undertale blew up, and now he's working on Deltarune. And then Game Freak hits him up, and they're like, hey, we like the music for Undertale. Can you compose our game soundtrack? So that's really neat. Like, honestly, I personally don't like Undertale, but I have a lot of respect for Toby Fox. Like, on a human level, obviously, but also on a professional level, I have a great deal of professional respect for Toby Fox. Here they're talking about Banjo and Kazooie. I actually watched the demonstration afterwards. It was an absolute treat. But I'm not covering that today, or I think maybe at all. I don't know. It depends. But yeah, so Banjo and Kazooie's released today. Rip their servers. Also here they are announcing another character. There was a lot of speculation about it being Metal Slug or just an SNK fighter in general. We can see it like trying to go back to 1980 and then came back down to 1991. Neo Geo. Honestly, that really kind of looks, to me, that looks like a really cool boot screen. And here it says SNK. And I had a friend in this call who was absolutely livid that it was an SNK character. And honestly, I could not fathom why they were so upset that it was an SNK character. Honestly, I think it's kind of neat. SNK certainly can be a valuable addition, because now it's just basically, various aspects of gaming history is what Smash Bros. Ultimate it seems to be about. It seems to be about a celebration of games as a medium and their history. And that's evident through their spirits, through the characters that they added, and even with these presentations are over the top and they're absolutely beautiful. They could just say, hey, this character from SNK is going to be in, but they make it an event. Like, these aren't really, that, maybe to some they don't seem like that big of a deal, but when you're looking at like gaming as a whole, honestly, it looks like this is just the penultimate celebration of gaming as a whole is in Smash Brothers Ultimate. Yeah. Smash Brothers Ultimate and Fatal Fury come together, which is kind of cool. Coming in November 2019 for that character, which is kind of cool. So that's character pack 4. There's one more. You can get all of them for $25, which is kind of cool. So Joker, Hero, Banjo-Kazooie, Terry, all seem like solid characters. Although we have no idea what the moveset is going to be for Terry, but I think if you've played Fatal Fury, you kind of have an understanding. And even more DLCs. I made the joke that because the Switch is so popular and DLC is so accepted, that Sakurai can't help himself but make more characters because he loves Smash Brothers and he loves gaming, and so he's just like, I'm gonna make all of the characters in Smash. They'll be either spirits, or they'll be characters, or they'll be costumes, but I want them all in this game. And it's just, honestly, that's great. Like, it's truly his passion project. Here we see some more footage of Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening. I've said it before, I'll say it 1,000 times. I love the aesthetic of this game. It just looks absolutely beautiful. I love the diorama look. In fact, I need to make a new board. But a lot of inspiration I get from for set pieces for films and books is all these really cool dioramas that people make. And honestly, I wish I had the technical and creative know-how to make my own. But this is really cool. Also, the design your own dungeon thing, and the fact that you can share them with amiibos is really cool. Specifically with the Link's Awakening amiibo. It's just absolutely amazing. And of course, that game's available on the 20th. The Dragon Quest remake, Dragon Quest 11S. I assume the S stands for Switch, because not only is it on Switch, but you can also switch between the graphics. Look at that timing. That was great timing. And honestly, I just think that's amazing. At first, I kind of joked about play with the old graphics because you don't want the new glasses. But a lot of the Halo Anniversary games did that, where if you press back on the controller, in the campaign, you could actually switch between the two graphics. And when Dan and I did our Let's Play together, which sadly stopped, we never got around to finishing it, we did that a few times. We would just randomly change to the old graphics just to kind of see how it looks. And it was really neat. So I like that idea of being able to swap between the old and new graphics. It really kind of gives you a good like a level of understanding with how far the games have come. Here we have Tokyo Mirage Sessions FE Encore. Maybe you're supposed to say Sharp FE Encore because that's sharp, or is that flat? No, it's the little. It looks like B if it's flat. I think, yeah, definitely. It's been a while since I've wrote or read music with sharps and flats. But yeah, this game was on the Wii U. So it does seem like Nintendo is really pushing to get all their Wii U titles onto the Switch, which is a bit unfortunate, but it is understandable. The Wii U was a financial, from a business standpoint, it was a failure because they expected it to sell like the Wii, and they marketed it just like they did with the Wii, and it didn't work out too well. But This version does come with a new song and a new character, which is kind of cool. But, you know, it is what it is. Deadly Premonition 2, A Blessing in Disguise, is coming to the Switch. The thing about the Deadly Premonition games is I've heard bits and pieces about them. I've never really dived too far into them. So it's one of those things where I think that this is a port. I'm pretty sure the next title that's going to be discussed is a port, but I'm not 100% sure. Based on how these character models look and how the game looks as a whole, I want to say it's a port. But I could be wrong, and somebody could easily go in the comments and tell me that I'm wrong, and I greatly appreciate that. But here is Deadly Premonition Origin, which I'm like 95% sure is a port, and that's available later today, which is kind of cool. Divinity Original Sin 2 coming to the Nintendo Switch. This is one of those games that you can play on your own, and it is a good bit of fun, but I feel like it's better with friends, and so having it on the Switch is just a great idea. And one of the things I really like about Divinity Original Sin 2 is that your attacks hit everybody, so it's like it's one of those things where if you're in battle and you're going to cast an AoE, you might want to check to make sure that your friends aren't near you or near your target, because that'll happen. And then also you can do stuff like changing, destroy the environment, like destroy a forest with your fireball spell. Steam cross save, that's really nice. I do appreciate cross save and crossplay. It definitely helps get rid of this idea of exclusives, which is just really dumb. I mean, I get it, you want to sell your consoles, but honestly, it's looking like the Switch is going to be the king of systems. Here we have a message from Bethesda. Pete Hines is telling us about all these wonderful things. Honestly, every time somebody spoke, I couldn't really hear them that well because my friends and I were all trying to talk over each other. But I had a feeling, because of the BFG in the background and also the logo, that they were going to announce a new Doom port, and they did with Doom 64. It's kind of neat to think that all of these Doom games are going to be on the whatchamacallem, the Switch. I actually forgot the name of the Switch for a hot minute there. I got distracted by my phone. I'm gonna turn that upside down. But yeah, it's just kind of neat that I think every Doom game, except for maybe Doom Advance, if that was an actual thing, are on the Switch. So you have Doom 1, 2, 3, 64, Doom 2016, Doom 2 Eternal, all on the Switch. This is a new game called Rogue Company. I didn't really know what to think of this game. I'm not sure if it's a Battle Royale game or just a 4v4. It looks colorful. It looks like there's probably like some neat movement systems maybe, or at least some like interesting equipment. We can see like a drone and riot shield, throw katanas. I'm honestly, I don't know what to think of this game because the trailer didn't really give us much to talk about. My money is on it having a battle royale mode. But honestly, it's one of those things that I don't really know what to think about. I've been talking for a while, and now it's time to talk about Pokemon Sword and Shield, which in my newsletter, which I have a link to sign up for in the description below, as well as a link to my website. I have written I've dedicated 2 issues to Pokemon Sword and Shield, and it looks like I might dedicate a 3rd issue, or I might just like really briefly talk about these updates. But my suspicion was correct that they are bringing back character customization, which is really cool. You can have the same swimsuit as Nessa. You can also change your hair, which is great because in all of the previous games where they've had customization, I've always really wanted to change my hair, but I didn't know if you could or if there was a way. I really hated the classic haircut that they gave you. I just really wanted something different. And this is definitely the game for that. Also, that cream Pokemon that you just saw in the background in the previous shot, it's like our first reveal of a new shiny form, like a shiny form of one of the new Pokemon, which is really cool. Which since this Pokemon, which is walking up right now, seems to be kind of like a bit of like an ice cream theme kind of thing, and it's got like strawberries on top. I think it's safe to assume that the shiny form has like mint or something. It was like a mint green, which is kind of cool. Also, this right here, Curry, Cooking Mama Pokemon Edition, where you just make various versions of Curry, which I think is absolutely hilarious. And you put your heart into it. And it's so great. And I just love the fact that your character emotes to all of this. Honestly, I get the feeling that like this is going to be the penultimate Pokemon game. And it segues right into a new new Pokemon reveal. So this is Poltergeist. It's basically a ghost that possesses a broken teapot, which is very British, and I absolutely love it. So it seems like weak armor is the thing where like if it takes damage, then it's like armor breaks or whatever. This is a new Pokemon. My first thought was it looked like a dodo bird. It's obviously based off of a bird that is native to the UK. But I absolutely love this thing. Also, when it uses Surf or Dive, it catches a Pokemon. And then it has an ability where it shoots it at another Pokemon. And it's called Gulp Missile. And I just love it. And honestly, I think it's actually the first time they've shown in-game of Pokemon trying to eat other Pokemon, which is kind of neat because it shows, this is a real world where the Pokemon are creatures and they will try to eat each other for sustenance. So yeah, honestly, I get the feeling that Pokemon Sword and Shield might be Game Freak's last Pokemon game, and because of that, they're putting their all into this. Yeah, there's been a lot of debate about the models and a tree of all things. But honestly, I think that they're really pushing toward this. Here they're showing off the Super Nintendo online library, which is really cool. A lot of SNES games, F-Zero, Yoshi's Island, Link to the Past, Mario World, even Star Fox. I think they might put Star Fox 2 on there now that it's technically an officially released game, and also the last game to ever be released for the SNES. It's not a physical game, but it is still technically released. Kirby game, Ghosts and Goblins. You can do a rewind feature, which is kind of neat. I don't know. In my opinion, it kind of defeats the purpose of dying in Ghosts and Goblins, but whatever. I guess people feel that way about Dark Souls. But also Super Metroid, which is really cool. I'm kind of curious how that works online. Maybe you just like treat it as like a race with your friends or something. That'd be kind of cool. Or you do like a pass off, like if someone like enters a new area or dies, you hand off control or whatever. That'd be kind of cool. There was a leak about this, like a patent design for like a Bluetooth SNES controller by Nintendo. It looks like a tried and true Super Nintendo controller, just with some extra buttons, and it's releasing for $30, which the entire call complained about. But honestly, it's Nintendo. What do you expect? I've seen other controllers go for way more. So it may be more than what you spend, but it is cheaper than other official controllers. Heck, it's cheaper than Joy-Cons for that matter. Tetris 99 gets a new update, survival mode, which is kind of neat. Honestly, I'm very intrigued by the concept of Tetris 99. A battle royale Tetris game is the last thing that I would ever come up with. Um, but it is interesting nonetheless. Also, daily missions are really cool, nice little like extra things that you can do on the side. Also, themes, which is kind of cool. That was one of the things I was kind of hoping they would do for a while. I've never played 99. I don't have a Switch, but just seeing all the footage looks really samey. But this is kind of like a nice way to really make your game yours. 2-player share battle, couch co-op, which is great. You do local arena, and this update is available tomorrow. And available on the 6th, you can pick up a physical copy of Tetris 99. What you're actually paying for is Nintendo Switch Online, which is really cool. I'm glad that they did that. Also, now you can, physically add Tetris 99 to your collection. Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games for Tokyo 2020. Really cool. Seems like there's like a bunch of different games. I'm not sure if like all of these games have been in past, like if there's new ones that have been added. But it's really cool. Also, you can play as like their original graphics, which is kind of neat. But also, some of the sprites look really janky. Like Bowser, for example, they're just rotating his sprite, which is really funny. And it seems like there's a bunch of different mini games. And of course, like with Mario Tennis Aces, Luigi kicks off the story by Thanos snapping people into another state of being. And Tennis Aces, he uses the Infinity Racket to turn them all into golem monstrosities. And this one, he teleports them to the Shadow Realm. Here we have Deus Ex Machina. No, Daemon X Machina. I mean, you could act like a Deus Ex Machina, a god from a machine. But it's still, it's really cool. It's honestly, this is something that's kind of intrigued me since it was first announced at E3. I really like mech games, and I have a hard time finding mech games to play. So Daemon X Machina looks 152% up my alley. It has online play, which I kind of hope that I'll have friends to play with. I have been talking to a couple of friends that if we all get Switches, we'll all pitch in together to get the family plan for Nintendo Switch online multiplayer. That would be kind of nice. This reveal right here had me screaming with joy. Like, I yelled at the top of my lungs, and I think I might have burst the eardrums of a couple of friends. That's a bit of a hyperbole. But this is one of my favorite Star Wars games of all time. In fact, I did a Let's Play of this. My other favorite Star Wars games are the Battlefronts, the original Battlefronts, all 4. So this is coming out in 20 days, and I'm so happy about it. It just really made me happy. And honestly, that right there, I felt like they could have been there, but they didn't. They announced Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, which is kind of interesting. Personally, I think it does kind of make sense that they would put it on the Switch, because people are rebuying the games that they already have on Switch. And honestly, that makes sense because the Switch is this first ever truly hybrid system where you can play your games, here and on the go. And people have been trying to figure out for years how to play their favorite games that are on console or on PC on the go. And Nintendo tried it with the Wii U, and the off-TV play was something that they wanted to expand into a console, and so off-TV play became the Nintendo Switch, more or less. That's an oversimplification, but yeah. Here we have a game I've never heard of before. Again, it's another one of those cases where I'm not sure if it's new or if it's a port. Um, it says expect frequent updates, so I think it's a brand new game. But it looks cool. And open your calendar, more games are coming. And it shows just a brief few clips along with kind of pan arounds 3D models of Switch systems. Just Dance 2020 honestly makes sense. You've got motion controls. Just Dance has to be on there. It's the law. Grid Autosport. I've seen a few racing games coming up on the Switch, so that's kind of neat. Farming Simulator 20. Okay. Have no real take on Farming Simulator. Ni no Kuni, Wrath of the White Witch, coming on the 20th of this month. In just a couple of days, you'll be able to pick up NBA 2K20, which is kind of neat. I guess if you're into 2K20 games, or NBA games, my bad. Call of Cthulhu, October 8th, a good Halloween game, TBH. The Outer Worlds, that's really neat. Private Division. Devil May Cry by Capcom, coming out September 19th, 2019. So not too long ago. Or from now. Vampire coming out on the 29th of October. That is a really good release day for those who are super into Halloween. So it seems like if you're a Halloween fan and you love horror games, this seems to be the month for you. Well, October, that is. And so here we've got some stuff with Tom Nook, which is talking about Animal Crossing New Horizons, which is really cool. Fun little promotional video just for you. It's called Welcome to Island Life. Oh, it's starting. It's starting. I'm going to go silent here.
Thank you for choosing the Deserted Island Getaway Package. A laid-back, relaxing time and a haven of nature awaits. For you and the other folks participating in the Getaway Package, the time's come to get into the groove of deserted island life. It may be a deserted island, but the Resident Services building at its center is here to support your needs, so there's nothing to worry about. For starters, we'll provide you with a tent. Please select the spot where you'd like it set up. Oh, and there's something else. We'd like to offer you an original Nook Inc. Nook phone. It comes pre-installed with a variety of apps for all your deserted island needs, including recipes for crafting tools and furniture. Let's start by crafting an axe. We're going to need some materials, like branches and stones. Then we'll head to Resident Services and use the workbench. Nicely done! You can use the tools you craft to acquire new materials, like this. And with those, you can craft more items. Feel free to place furniture inside or outside. You can fine-tune the arrangement so that the decor expresses your style, and you can fully enjoy the deserted island life. Let's head back to Resident Services. Here we sell tools and furniture. We also buy your unwanted items, including any weeds you remove, as part of our island cleanup plan. In addition to the usual in-game currency, bells, you can also earn Nook Miles through the Nook Mileage program. You can exchange your miles for special items and recipes. You'll earn miles through a host of activities on the island, so be sure to take advantage of this program. There are many ways to experience the joys of life on a deserted island. Go fishing, catch some bugs, tend to flowers, and pick them to make a garland. Thanks to crafting, even weeds have their uses. A vaulting pole makes it easy to quickly cross a river. A nutritious snack will help you shovel up a tree in no time. Plant it somewhere else to change things up in that corner of the island. The scenery changes with the time and weather. There will be sunshine, cloudy days, rainfall, and enough wind to shake the trees. Depending on the time of day and the season, you'll encounter different creatures to catch too. Sociable types who live together on the same island can play simultaneously, up to 4 players at a time on one system. We hope you enjoy living together and working together in the same space. With a local wireless or internet connection, you can travel to another player's island for a total of 8 players in one visit. The whole scene feels meant to be. Why not snap a photo with everyone and make it a lasting memory? How's Deserted Island life looking? What we've shown you here today is truly just the beginning. There's so much more waiting to be discovered. So many activities, animals to encounter, and more calling to you from the island. We can't wait for you to experience the Nook Inc. Deserted Island Getaway Package.
Animal Crossing New Horizons 3/20/2020. A lot of 20s. Yeah, I gotta say, Animal Crossing New Horizons looks absolutely amazing. It's an absolute treat. Honestly, I say that about a lot of games, but honestly, there's just a lot of good games coming out this time around. And then this was like one last thing. And for a while, I was like, okay, so like it's obviously a Xeno game, but which one? And I saw this shot, and I was like, oh, it's Xenoblade 1. And I was like, wait, why are they showing Xenoblade 1? And then it clicked. It's a port, but it's not just a port. I noticed looking at it closer, the models seemed a bit smoother. Like there seemed to be no jagged edges, and then it clicked that this was like an HD like polish up for the Nintendo Switch. And I think that's absolutely amazing because Xenoblade Chronicles, I've played a bit of it. I have the new 3DS version. I don't have a new 3DS. I have the regular 3DS XL, so I can't really play it that much. But what I did play of it, and I got decently far, I absolutely loved. And it's kind of nice that it's coming out on the Switch, so it's like another generation of people can play it. And hopefully this won't have a limited run, like the Wii version. It's crazy. But yeah. So, it was just, it was a really good Direct. And, overall, there were some good games announced. Smash Bros. Character was something I was kind of expecting. And it's kind of neat to see all the new stuff in Pokemon Sword and Shield. Also, just new games being ported over to the Switch that seems like left field. But overall, I think my opinions on this Direct are pretty positive. It's an absolute hoot. And also, I love that Jedi Knight 2 Jedi Outcast is being put on the Switch for seemingly no reason, but it does give me hope that other Star Wars games might make their way to the Switch. And I think EA might have total control over Star Wars games license, or maybe the original devs were like, hey, we're going to put this on the Switch. But I absolutely love that. Also, my heart goes out to all the new people who are going to play it and struggle on Nar Shaddaa, which is also sometimes called the Sniper's Corridor. because this is absolute pain. Also, if you play on hard difficulty, protecting the prisoners in that one level is also a pain. I would know I did a full let's play of it on hard because apparently I wanted to hate myself. But yeah. But overall, this direct was pretty solid. A lot of good games, a lot of weird choices announced for the Switch. But that's where I'm going to end it. Thank you so much for watching. And I'm still on Let's Play pause, especially with Rabbids Go Home. I just haven't had time to record that because I've been so busy with other things. But tune in tomorrow at about 2 p.m. Central Standard Time for some more live streams of me playing through Pokemon Yellow version. Anyways, I will see you guys tomorrow on twitch.tv/Andrew the 12th Kind for Pokemon Yellow version. Bye-bye.